As far as food, I am still eating anywhere from 2 to 4 ounces. It has gone up slightly. I have noticed I can eat a little more, but I could be eating up to 6 ounces if I wanted to now, and that has yet to happen unless it's like a yogurt. So I avoid those kinds of things in general. I try to stick to mostly meats, protein sources, some cheeses. I'm still getting very little fruits and vegetables just because I find I haven't had a lot of room for them. But once I find ways to up my protein sources, I should be able to fit a little more in. And that will actually lead me into the next thing. I just wanted to show, this is the brand of protein bars. And again, that looks backwards on my computer, so I hope it doesn't come out backwards in the video. But this is the brand I use, Premier, actually the smallest part on the box here, Premier Protein. And I get these at Costco, and comes in 3 flavors. Of course, this doesn't show the 3 flavors because it's all the same flavor on top, but comes in the bars of 3 flavors. There's chocolate peanut butter, double chocolate crunch, and yogurt peanut crunch. That one's actually my favorite, even though I'm kind of a chocolate fiend. And they're okay. You know, they're not fantastic, but I can certainly get them down. But they are kind of high in calories, you know, close to 300 for a whole bar. And for a long time that was okay because I would only eat half in a day. But now that I can eat more, I actually can eat a whole one, and then that becomes a little much, which is part of why this week I picked up these, which are also by the same brand. And this is the liquid version. These only come in chocolate, which is fine by me. This has the same 30 grams of protein that is in the bar, but with only 160 calories instead of close to 300. Only 3 grams of fat. I think those have about 6 or 7. Only 5 carbs. I think those have about 12, and it still has the 30 grams of protein. Now, they told us that once you're on solid foods to try to avoid liquid protein because it won't keep you full, and you'll be getting basically liquid calories in a form that's not going to, you know, provide you the fullness and keep you from eating another meal. However, I have not found this true for myself personally. On one hand, I have not been getting quite enough calories or quite enough protein, so the extra calories don't hurt me. But on the other hand, I find myself with very little appetite in the mornings. I think just from not eating all night long, my stomach shrinks back down a little bit, and I've been finding it hard to eat breakfast even when I'm hungry. So the past 2 days I've had this for breakfast, and that works great for me because I get all of this protein hit, 30 grams, that's almost half of my daily requirement just with breakfast. And also on top of that, I'm getting quite a lot of vitamins. They have tons of vitamins listed on here, and all of them have 25% of my daily value, including iron, which is something I am not getting from anything other than food right now because I cannot stomach either an iron pill or a multivitamin that has iron in it because I just can't handle the pill. So at least I get a little iron from this. I'm also trying to eat more red meat. But anyway, I really like these. As far as taste, if you've ever had Slim Fast, to me it tastes just like a chocolate Slim Fast, and I've always thought those were pretty good. But of course, this has a lot more good stuff for you in this. And just one other thing on the food front, and this would not work for gastric bypass people, but one of the things I love is I don't have to worry about sugar. So I've got my little containers here of Skittles and pretzel M&Ms, and we taped the nutrition things from the package onto our little containers, and I just grab like 2 or 3 of these when I really want like a sweet snack. And it totally satisfies me, and it does almost no damage whatsoever because the serving sizes on these things are like, you know, 17 of these or a quarter cup of these. And when I'm grabbing just like 2, I usually would eat only 1 or 2 of these since they're bigger, and like 3 or 4 Skittles, and I do that like once a day for one of them, not both. So that's been really good for me. These are a little emptier because the husband gets into these a little more often, but that's his problem, not mine. Let's see, what else? I'm trying to up my protein, as I said. I'm also trying to up my water. It has still been really difficult for me to get all of my water in between meals, waiting an hour after, trying not to drink too soon before a meal, and then eating every 2 to 3 hours. I've probably been getting my minimum requirement most days, but I really want to do more because I know that with weight loss, the more water, the better. It flushes everything out. So I'm working on that, trying to up that even more and just really focus on it because I think that will really help. I think, let's see, the last thing I have to say is today I'm going back to therapy again. I've only been once to my therapist since surgery, and it went well, but it was mostly just me catching her up on how everything has gone. I wanted to do a meal planning session with her, but I brought my cookbooks and she basically just looked at them and said a few things, but she really didn't help me the way she said she would. I'm kind of curious how today is going to go. I don't personally feel like I have a whole lot I want to talk to her about. I had done a post recently about some emotions I was going through, and I didn't even get to talk to her about that last time, so I will probably bring that up and see how that goes. But honestly, I have not really felt like I've needed therapy as much post-op. But I don't know if that's just because everything's going so well right now, and then when things start to get tougher, I'm going to really need it. It's not a tie that I want to sever with her, because you never know when emotions are going to come up that you don't expect or you can't handle and you don't even realize it. So as of right now, I'm set up to see her once a month, and I think that's pretty good because I definitely don't need to see her every week anymore. I've got so many things under better control. But once a month is good for sort of a check-in and to deal with any emotions that may come up from losing weight and dealing with. I mean, I really have done a lot of work on dealing with emotional eating just while I've been working with her before surgery. And I don't feel like I've done even an ounce of emotional eating since surgery, which is pretty amazing. Um, I honestly have not noticed any, so that's a huge, huge deal for me. They say surgery does not fix your brain, it only, fixes your stomach. And while I believe that's true, I think the work I did in therapy pre-op has really helped me be ready for this and ready to just sort of take it by the horns, and that's how I felt like it's been. So, and my therapist is great, but I feel like lately it's just been me catching up on things. So I think it's kind of up to me at this point to make a list before I see her of the topics I would like to cover and try to sort of keep her on those topics. So I'm going to try to do that today. I actually have to hurry off and go see her in about half an hour, so I'm going to be working on that next. Let's see, is that everything on my list? Just about this month, I talked about this a little in the beginning of the video, but it's definitely hard to go from this like incredible first month and then a much slower second month. I have to realize that the second month is still more progress than I probably ever would make in 1 month without surgery. It's on an average of 3 pounds a week, although that's not exactly the way it's been coming off. But, and it hopefully will remain more consistent. So it's more than I could do on my own. It's hard for me to see much difference in the photos, and there's not as much difference in the measurements this time around. But there is some there, and I just have to remember that's going to add up every month. So looking forward to month 3. One thing I found interesting, I had one measurement that went up this month, and that was my calf. I had lost like an inch off of my calf in the first month, and it went back up a half an inch this month. So I don't know if that's just from working out so much and building muscle, but I'm like, okay, I do not want 20-inch calves the rest of my life because I would like to wear boots someday. So I hope it continues to go down as I get smaller, and I'm sure it will, but it was just a little disappointing. But everything else either stayed the same or went down slightly, at least half an inch or a quarter of an inch, and some things went down a little more than that. So it's good. You should definitely take photos and measurements in this journey. Otherwise, I would certainly be sitting here saying I see absolutely no difference. So at least I can see some when I have these documentations. So I think that is it. I'm going to wrap this up. That is my 2-month update. I will probably post again at 3 months. I may post sooner, but I don't think so. So I think once a month is good for me for the videos, unless a topic comes up that I really want to talk about, or perhaps share more products or things that I'm using. So that's all for now, and thank you for watching. Bye!